fine, mate. That's fine. That's all we do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just grab your attention, please. Get today's highly anticipated auction straight underway. It is a great pleasure here today on behalf of Marc Lum, Tony Ho and the entire team at Ray White Glen Waverley as we welcome you back to 18 Whitehaven Crescent, a property that harnesses an absolute abundance of options and potential, and you are positioned in this convenient residential pocket of Mulgrave. To our vendors, well, firstly, thank you for entrusting Ray White Glen Waverley with the sale of your property, and to all bidders here today, best of luck, your judgment is commended. Today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and conditions made available prior to today's proceedings, as the auctioneer will indicate bidders on request and have the right to bid on behalf of our vendor, aptly announced as vendor bids. These rules prohibit false bids, prohibit major disruptions from bidders, attempting to prevent others from bidding, and provide fines for such conduct. And then when finally the paperwork hits my hand, we'll be taking no late bids. In essence, your auction rules. Simple particulars that we operate under here today. It is a 10% deposit payable under the fall of the hammer, 30, 60, 90 days as your settlement date, both unless organised with Marc or Tony prior to today's proceedings. So again, the auction rules, particulars, both clear, concise, and just put in place to encourage all bidding. Well, Marc, Tony, before we get underway, I wanted to make a few brief comments on the property up for auction. And as we stand here today, this truly does represent exceptional buying into the Mulgrave market. Whether you're back, you might be looking for that renovator, it might be to knock down and rebuild subject to council approval, or simply something that represents exceptional value. We are very confident the search does end here. On offer, well, it comes in with a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, nice separation between kitchen, living and dining space, but it is ripe for renovation and harnessing that chance to inject your own personal style and touch right throughout. Underpinned by approximately 724 square metres of land. And then finally, our location. Well, firstly, we are just beside the park, but secondly, convenient to absolutely everything that Mulgrave has to offer. As stated earlier, 10% the deposit, 30, 60, 90 days, your settlement date. On behalf of Marc Lum, the entire team, Ray White Glen Waverley, we submit it to you now. Up, bring it off to get us underway. 680. Breaks the side, low, nonetheless, it is the lead, and welcome in at 680,000. At 680,000, nudge north. Welcome at $20,000 incremental rise. 680 is offered, 7 is the answer, 3 chances. For further consideration, at 680, 7 raises the hand, joins the auction at 700,000. At 700,000, gentlemen's bid now. Buyers keep the 20 to stride, 7 is offered. 710, we've short the incremental rise and welcome in at 710,000. Courtesy all parties involved. 710 is bid. 20 back with our starter if you like. 710 is the offer at 720, sir. 720 on the nod and welcome back in at 720. At 720,000, 720 is bid for the interest. Welcome at 5 just as of yet. I'll let you know as soon as we can break down the stride. 720 is the offer. Buys 30 is the answer. 3 chances now for further consideration at 720. At 730 joins the auction back front and centre now at 730. At 730,000, bidding with confidence, keeps a 10 to stride. 730 is called. Guys, we break it down a little bit more. You start to think about it, no matter which way you look at it, it certainly makes sense. 730 holds. It sits front and centre at 730. 40 can we say? Haven't forgotten about our starter. 40 on the nod if you like. 730 is the offer. At 730,000, bid sits front and centre. 35 just as it gets. Needs to be 10 in the stride. 40, we welcome you in. You'll never regret the value. 730 holds. It's still front and centre. 40 on the nod. At 740,000, buys again. Nothing less than a 10 to reclaim the lead. 740 holds. Just my left-hand side now. At 740, 50 it needs to be buys. 3 chances now. No better bid. It holds just to the left. At 740. At 740,000, sits to my left. At 740, the offer. Once now, auto finish and silent at 740,000. Place now, buys. It's had its time. No delay, no procrastination. At 750, back with our starter. Welcome back in at 7.5. At 750,000, back with our starter now, buys. 7.5 is the offer. And again, $10,000 stride. Go there, do with confidence. 7.5 is called. 760 is the answer. Again, 3 chances for your slice of Mulgrave in absolute abundance. It is options. It is potential. 7.5 holds with our starter. Been with us the whole way. Certainly knows the value for the want of 60 at 750,000. Once now, all done, finish and silence at 750 the bid. Twice now, guys, no delay, no procrastination. You have the bid at 760. 755, short to stride, why not? Welcome in. 755 is offered, buys nothing less than a 5 to reclaim the lead, but don't let us finish that though. 755 is sold, straight back on the 60, 65 can we say, at 760,000. We are back to the right at 760 the offer, at 760,000. Sits with our starter, our lamplighter at 760. Again, a number of parties here with the intention of purchase, no delay, no procrastination required. 760 is the call, at 760,000 buys. 65, and you interesting, welcome in at 765, at 765,000. You bring it down a little. The more you start to think about it, no matter which way you look at it, it certainly makes sense. 765 holds. New interest services at 765. 70 can we say, nothing less than a 5 to reclaim the lead. So you've been with Solway on the nod, straight to 70 it is. At 770,000 now. Back to the left at 770. Our previous entrant reclaims the lead at 770,000. At 770,000 for the want of 7 3/4.
75.
75, 7 3/4. Welcome straight back at 775. At 775,000. It holds just to the right at 775, 780. The next sequential bid, move and answer. 3 chances now for further consideration. 775 is bid. The conversation continuing and intensifies. We give it its time. 780 on the nod. Go there. Do it with confidence. 775 is the call at 775,000. 3 chances, no delay for the want of 80. Once now, all done, finish and silent at 775 and selling. And as you've heard, on behalf of Marc Lum, Peter Massia, the entire team at Whitehaven Waverley, we are on the market. We sell away. No better bid. We welcome you owners. 775 holds. 80 can we say?
780.
780, and there it is, and welcome back in at 780, at 780,000 a bid, at 780,000. Our starter reclaims the lead, bidding with confidence, started the auction. Will they finish at 780, at 780,000? 3 chances, no delay, we sell away, no better bid at 780,000. Once now, all done, finish and silent.
85.
85 keeps the 5s astride, and welcome back in at 785. Quick bid's a good bid. 90 can we say?
790. 790.
790, the immediate return to 790 at 790,000. Back with our starter, 95. It presents the elusive 8 just around the corner. 790 holds at 790,000. Again, bid holds just to my right with our starter at 790. The call. Once now, buys, all done, finish and silent at 795, and welcome back in at 795.
800.
800, the immediate retort, straight back with our starter at 8 the offer. At $800,000 a bid now. Bid sits back to the right with our starter at 800 the offer. At 800,000, buys hotly contested, and why wouldn't it be considering the offering? The bid. Where do we go from here? 800 is the call. At 800,000, bid sits back to the right at 800 the bid. Once now. At 800,000.
802.
802. Short in the stride, $2,000 lunch for the keys. Nonetheless, it is elite, and welcome back in. 802 is bid. We'll extend the courtesy of 2,000 in the stride, but don't let us limit you that. 802 holds. 804 matches the 2, reclaims the lead at 804. At 804,000, sir, do we keep
805.
805, $1,000 lunch for the keys, straight back in front with our starter front. 806 matches it back at 806,000. 806,000 holds. Sir, can I say 807? 806 is bid. I'll give you 3 chances for further consideration. Holds a bid to the right at 806,000. Haven't forgotten about our previous entrant either. Now's the chance. 806 is the offer. Sir, can we say 807, the $1,000 lunch for the keys? It certainly presents. 806 is the bid. Our starter's favour. 807, and welcome back in at 808. The immediate return did not delay at 808 the bid. At 808.
809.
809. 810. 810,000. Again, you've been with us all the way, sir. A few moments to consider. 810 is the offer. At 810,000, again, we call it through.
811.
811. 812. 813. 812 is bid. At 812,000. At 812,000, again, guys, we slow down this last part of proceeding. 12 holes. It sits with our starter for the want of 813 at 812,000. 3 chances. We sell away for this slice of Mulgrave. No better bid at 812. The offer. 13. 15 up to stride and welcome back in toward the rise to 815 at 815,000. Rise back with our starter 815 16. 815 is offered. Holds to the right at 815,000 at 815,000. 3 chances. We sell away with our starter. No better bid at 815. The call. Once now, would I finish and silence at 815,000. 16 on the second call, 816. 17 it is, returns 817 at 817,000. On the stride, back with our starter, knows the property. 817 is the offer at 817,000 again. 3 chips. 18. 818. 822 on the stride, doubles incremental rise and welcome in the $2,000 bid to 820 at 820,000. Holds back to the right at 820 the bid. Again, guys, still 2 in the race. Anyone can join. 820 holds. 3 chances now for further consideration at 820 the bid at 820,000 with our starter. Once now, auto finish and silence at 820,000. 21 on the second call again. 22, 2 twos and welcome in at 822,000. 822,000 holds with our starter. 822 is the offer. 23, but don't let us limit you to that. 822 holds at 822,000. At 822,000. Once now at 822. See, conversations continuing, they intensify. We give it its time. Should you require the courtesy of time, we'll also extend it back to you as well. 22 in your favour. 25 a better bid, a stronger lunge for the keys. 26 the immediate retort with the 1,000 stride to 826 at 826,000. Pick up the pace again. 826 holds. 30 can we say? 3 chances now. 826 is the offer at 826,000. Still with our starter, our lamplighter at 826 the offer. Once now at 826,000. 826 holds in your favour. 826,000 is a bid. At 826,000 is a 27 or round up proceeding straight to 30. The choice is yours. We wait with anticipation. 1 call through, 2 remain. At 826 the offer. At 826,000. Twice now. We are selling away. No better bid at 826,000. Sir, 2 calls through. 1 remain. Is permission to sell. 826 holds. 826,000 holds just to my right with our starter. Is it 27? 826 is the bid. 826. 27. 830 and welcome in. Knows the value at 830 at 830,000. Bidding with confidence. A stronger lunge for the keys. Secures back first at 830 the offer at 830,000. Again, buyers, we welcome the 1,000. We welcome it back. Don't let us limit you to that. 830 holds with our starter. 3 chances. For further consideration at 830 the bid at 830,000. Once now, auto finish and silence at 830,000 the call. Twice now, we welcome the owners of Mulgrave at 830,000 the bid. 32 picks up the pace and welcome in 832. 35, 3 in the stride and straight back at 835 the offer at 835,000. We say 37, keep the 2s consistent. 835 holds at 835,000. Again, bid sits back to the right. 835 is the offer. 3 chances now. We sell away. We welcome the owners. No better bid at 835 the offer at 835,000. Once now, would I finish and silence at 835 the offer. Twice now, it's had its time. We sell away. No better bid at 835 the call for the third and final chance. Would I finish and silence at 835,000. I might reset the clock 1 last time. You hold it at 835. We reset the clock 1 last time. Ladies and gentlemen, for these last 3 calls, we'll break it down to a $500 bid only. Where can you buy a slice of Mulgrave? This location, this offering an extra $500 only. 835 holds. 35 and 5 is the lead. 3 chances now. We sell away at 835 at 835,000. Just meander around the crowd. Get the best. Just yourself. Appreciate the bidding. Our previous entrance, permission to sell away. Appreciate the bidding also. 835 holds. Sir, that last word of acknowledgement. Sell away. Definitely got the best. now on behalf of Marc Lum, the entire team, Ray Whitehaven Waverley. We sell away, we welcome Rose to Mulgrave. No better bid at 835 for the want of 500 only at 835,000. Once now, all done, finish and silence at 835 the offer. Twice now, we sell away at 835 the bid for the third and final chance. All done, finish and silent. Bid holds at 835,000. We are selling. Sold. Congratulations at 835,000. Well, ladies and gentlemen, an absolute marathon of an auction. Congratulations to our highest bidder and successful purchaser. I tell you what, if you love that same sold result, you can see Marc Lum and Tony Ho in the crowd achieving some exceptional results for their clients within the local market. Please reach out to Marc if you'd love to experience that same sold result. But on behalf of the team, enjoy your Saturday.